Hi, this is Ian Zepp again, talking about classifications and the classification rules engine. In our first demo, we covered how to set up classifications in a brief fashion. In this demo, I'm going to be going over how we can use the rules engine to automatically apply classifications to an account. So, Salesforce in this test instance comes with a sample account called GenePoint Test. Now what I'm going to demonstrate is I'm going to demonstrate how we can map the federal and state government classification to our account based on criteria that exist in the account itself. So in this case, you'll notice that our website for the GenePoint Test account is genepoint.com. And this package installs a related list called classification assignment. Now you'll see how that comes into play here in just a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to define a rule for our rules engine. Now a rules engine is generic, but this package installs a classification rule record type, which we're going to use. So our rule name can be anything that we want. In this case, I'm going to call it add government classifications. And our object type is the API name of the object that we want this rule to apply to. So in this case, it's an account. Now we cannot choose enabled just yet because we actually have to add rule criteria and rule actions first. So let's do that. We're going to add in a new rule criteria, and we specify the name, the API name of the field on the account object that we want to pay attention to. So in this case, it's a website. The website field is the field that we are looking to evaluate in order to determine whether this rule matches or not. Now, there are a whole slew of different matching types that we can choose, but in this case, we're simply going to choose contains. And what this does is it takes our value here, which is .gov, and it checks to see whether the .gov value exists in our website URL. So we're going to save that. Go back to our rule record. And so what you'll see now is that we have a criteria set up. You can have multiple criteria. You can have, let's add a second criteria. So in this case, I want the name of the account for demonstration purposes to contain also, well, let's actually say ends with test. So we have two requirements now. Our first requirement is that the name ends with the word test, and also that the website field on our account contains a .gov string. The next thing to do is add in an action. And just like the rule criteria, you can have multiple actions, all of which will be executed if the rule matches. We are going to simply add one action that says, if this rule matches, take the federal and state government classification and apply it to the account. Let's go back to our rule. And now that we have both criteria and action set up, we can go ahead and we can enable our rule. Our rule is now active. So let's test this. If we go over to our GenePoint Test account, you'll notice that our website is .com. If I change the website to .edu and save, we have no associated classification because our rule doesn't match. But if I go ahead and I change my website to .gov and my account name is already set up to end with test and I save it, our classification is automatically applied to the account. So that's what the classification rules engine does. It takes a set of rules that we've defined in advance, it evaluates all of the criteria, and if they all hold true, then it takes all of the actions and applies them to the object that we specified to set up. Now this is completely flexible. You can have standard objects, you can have custom objects. And in our next demo, we'll cover how you can actually use child relationships for criteria.